If we don't get such a deal, then I think the president is bound and determined, as he has shown us, to defend America and to defend the American economy and defend the American worker, the farmer, the technology person. That's a form of economic growth, too. I mean, we cannot give up. We cannot let any power, be it China or any other power, steal our dreams, our plans, our creativity.
True, but what really moved the market was when Larry Kudlow said a China trade deal is close. That moved the market. David Nicholas with us now with Nicholas Wealth Management. I think that's what moved the market because this market does want a China trade deal. But that jobs report was absolutely spectacular, right, David?
Stuart, it was amazing. I mean, to see that type of growth when analysts did not see that coming. And I'll tell you, it's just been an amazing story this year. But one of the things that really stood out to me, what Kudlow said, was he said that workers are actually, their wages are rising higher than managers. He hadn't seen that since Reagan. And so I think that's something that was between the lines that I thought was very important. It means this, that the tax cut that was done recently, this economy is not working just for the 1% or the wealthy CEOs. It's working for the worker, the average American. We're seeing it in the data. And this is why I think it's so important. I think that's partly why markets rallied when he was speaking.
Well, it's certainly rallying as we speak now. Thank you very much. Now, the administration is going to restrict food stamps. Probably going to take 700,000 people off the food stamp rolls, making sure that able-bodied people with no dependents can get out there and work. Seems to me that this is a good idea with a fully employed economy. You with me?
I'm completely with you, Stuart. And some are saying that the Trump administration is the Grinch that stole Christmas to do this. But not so fast, because here's really what's happening. The way that you get food stamps is you have to be an able-bodied American that you've been working at least 20 hours a week for the last 3 months. But certain areas and states can waive that work requirement if that area has an unemployment rate that is 20% higher than the national average. But when the unemployment rate is so low right now at 3.5%, that means a city that has an unemployment rate around 4% can completely waive that work requirement. And that's just crazy. And so what the administration is saying is we're going to cap it at 6%. If you're in an area that has unemployment higher than 6%, then you can waive it. But again, this doesn't affect the disabled. It doesn't affect women with kids, women who are pregnant, the elderly, only able-bodied Americans, 18 to 49, who can work but for some reason aren't working.
David, I'm going to play a soundbite with Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. He was asked kind of a strange question by a member of the Squad on Capitol Hill this week. I just want you to listen to this. Roll tape, please.
Do you believe in socialism for corporations?
Do I believe in
socialism for corporations?
For corporations.
A lot of people talk about socialism. I want to know, do you believe?
I do not believe in socialism for corporations.
I think Rashida Tlaib was trying to get him to say that, yes, corporations get subsidies, therefore they are a socialized institution. Nonsense, right?
Complete nonsense. I don't know, what does she mean by that, right? The government owning the means of production? Maybe she meant Nazi socialism, where the Nazis created price controls and control boards, state-sponsored monopolies. Or maybe it was the Cuban version of socialism when Castro came to power and they took over oil refineries, telecommunication companies, seized property from churches, sent 11 million people into abject poverty. Or maybe, Stuart, it's the Venezuelan version of socialism, where they tore down corporations in favor of co-ops, which sent the wealthiest South American nation into a nation full of abject hunger. So I'm not sure which version she's going for, but Americans should not settle for anything less than a free market system that has done more than any other system to bring humans out of the depth of poverty. So I hate to see what she said, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you, David Nicholas. We'll take that. David Nicholas, you're all right. Thanks very much, sir. We'll see you again next week, for sure.
Thank you, Stuart.